future of air combat is not pilot versus pilot, but pilot commanding a fleet of loyal robotic wingmen from the sky. What if the most dangerous part of the mission is no longer flown by a human at all? And what if Russia is already shaping this new style of warfare around its Su-30SM and the stealthy S-70 Okhotnik? A senior Russian military aviator has revealed a vision that sounds less like traditional air combat and more like a connected battlefield in the sky, where the pilot is no longer just a shooter, but a mission commander controlling unmanned strike assets in real time. In an interview published on February 25, 2026 by News.ru, Major General Vladimir Popov described what he called a new philosophy of warfare built on close cooperation between manned fighters and heavy combat drones. At the center of this concept is the combat-proven Su-30SM and the stealth-shaped S-70 Okhotnik, a pairing that could redefine how Russian air power fights in the decades ahead. For years, the debate has been simple. Will drones replace fighter pilots? According to Popov, the answer is no. Instead of replacement, the future is integration. Manned aircraft will remain the brain of the operation, while unmanned systems take on the most dangerous roles. That means the pilot stays alive, the mission continues, and the risk shifts to machines designed to survive in high-threat environments. The Su-30SM is not a new aircraft, but that is exactly why it matters. It is already one of the backbone multirole fighters of Russia's aerospace forces, known for long range, heavy payload, powerful radar, and two-seat cockpit configuration. That second crew member suddenly becomes far more important in a manned-unmanned teaming environment. Instead of simply managing weapons and sensors for one aircraft, the crew could coordinate an entire formation of unmanned systems, turning the fighter into an airborne command node. The S-70 Okhotnik, on the other hand, is designed for the kind of missions where survival is uncertain. It is a heavy, stealth, unmanned combat aerial vehicle built to penetrate defended airspace, carry precision weapons, and perform reconnaissance close to enemy air defenses. In a teamed operation, the drone moves forward into the danger zone, while the Su-30SM remains at a safer distance, controlling the fight, sharing targeting data, and assigning tasks. This changes the entire logic of air warfare. Instead of a single jet entering contested airspace alone, you now have a distributed strike package. Sensors are spread across multiple platforms. Weapons can be launched from different directions. Targets can be assigned dynamically in real time. If one asset is lost, the mission continues. Popov's comments suggest that the Russian military is thinking about future air combat as a network rather than individual aircraft flying separate sorties. The fighter becomes the decision maker, the drone becomes the risk taker. Together, they form a system that is more survivable, more flexible, and potentially more lethal. This approach also solves one of the biggest problems in modern warfare. Advanced air defenses are becoming so dense and so long-ranged that sending a pilot directly into them is increasingly dangerous. By pushing unmanned systems forward, the Air Force preserves trained aircrew while still achieving the same objectives. In Popov's own words, the goal is to accomplish missions more safely in the interests of preserving the flight crew. There's also a deeper message here. Russia is not preparing to abandon manned aviation. In fact, the opposite. The plan is for manned fighters to remain the core of combat aviation for the next 50 years. That means pilot training, cockpit decision-making, and human control over rules of engagement will still be central. But those pilots will no longer fight alone. Imagine a scenario where a Su-30SM detects enemy radar hundreds of kilometers away. Instead of turning toward the threat, it sends an Okhotnik forward. The drone maps the air defenses, identifies targets, and even launches the first strike. The fighter crew watches the entire battle unfold through fused sensor data, reallocating targets and adjusting the plan in real time. This is not science fiction anymore. This is the direction modern air power is moving. From a tactical perspective, this opens the door to more complex operations. Multiple drones could act as decoys, jammers, reconnaissance platforms, or strike assets all at once. The manned fighter would control the flow of the battle, choosing when and where to apply force. The enemy would not be facing a single aircraft, but an interconnected system. And this is not happening in isolation. Around the world, major air forces are working on similar loyal wingman concepts. What makes the Russian approach interesting is the choice of platforms. Instead of waiting for a next-generation fighter, the concept is built around aircraft that are already in service. That could allow faster operational deployment if the technology for data links, autonomy, and sensor fusion reaches the required level. There are still many unanswered questions. How advanced are the communication systems that will link these platforms? How autonomous will the Okhotnik be? Will it require constant control from the fighter, or will it be able to execute complex tasks on its own? And most importantly, how many of these systems can be produced and fielded at scale? But even as a concept, this signals a clear direction. Future air combat will not be about individual aircraft performance alone. It will be about how well different platforms work together as a single combat network. For Russia, this could increase deterrence by making its air power more resilient in high-threat environments. For its competitors, it means facing a force that can absorb losses, adapt in real time, and continue fighting even when part of the formation is destroyed. The most important part of Popov's vision is the balance between human and machine. The pilot remains the one who makes the critical decisions. The unmanned system extends the reach, takes the risks, and multiplies the combat power of the formation. It is not the end of the fighter pilot. It is the evolution of the fighter pilot into a battlefield commander in the sky. So the next time you see a Su-30SM in the air, it may not be alone, even if you only see one aircraft. Somewhere ahead of it, beyond visual range, an unmanned stealth drone could already be scouting targets, suppressing defenses, or preparing to strike under the control of that crew. The age of the single fighter jet is slowly fading. The age of the manned-unmanned combat team has begun. Subscribe for more updates and comment me to show your opinion.